continuing with standard 7 physics, and this is lecture number 2. Okay, so yesterday we ended up with the various components of atmosphere, various different parts of atmosphere. Okay, so now we are quite acquainted with the different parts of the atmosphere. So today we will be talking about one more interesting topic, that is air pressure. This air pressure, in this chapter is a very important thing, because it is the air pressure which is the one which is responsible for the movement of air. So let's try to understand air pressure. Okay, so what is air pressure? Air pressure can be considered to be as the pressure exerted by air on the earth. Okay, the amount of pressure the air applies on earth. So you know that anything, air is a matter, and any matter that is present on earth is pulled by the earth. Means it is pulled by the earth. So for instance, if I got this chalk, if I leave it here, it will be falling down. So why? Because it is being pulled by the earth. Similarly, the particles are also being pulled by the earth. So that is why whenever what happens is that you keep any material on the top of your hand, you will feel a certain amount of weight. What is this weight? This is the pressure that this duster is applying on my hand. But whatever you keep that, why? Because it is being pulled, it is applying a force so that it can go downwards, and therefore when I remove my hand, it will straight away go down. So why is this thing going down? Because earth is pulling it. And why did it apply some force on my hand? Because it is being pulled by the earth. Similarly, this air particles are also pulled towards the earth because of the gravity, because of the gravitational force of earth. Okay, earth pulls all particles. Similarly, air particles are also pulled towards the earth because of gravity. Okay, so because of this pulling, any substance which is in contact of it, any substance which is in contact with it, it applies certain amount of pressure. It applies certain amount of pressure, so that it can go downwards. Okay, that is the thing. Okay, so this is about air pressure. Okay. Second thing, one more important thing, before you understand what is air pressure, you need to know what is pressure. And what is pressure? Pressure is the force exerted per unit area. So pressure can be defined as the amount of force that is being applied per unit area. For example, if this is of 1 kg and it is applying a force in this much area, let it be 20 centimeters square. My hand's area is 20 centimeters square. So this whole of force of 1 kg force is being applied in 20 centimeter area. But that is not pressure, that is total force. Now if you want to take out the pressure, that will be force by area. So it is how much? 1 kgf force by 20 centimeters square. So it will be how much? 0.05 kgf per centimeter square. Okay, so this is you are called kgf per centimeter square. This is our pressure. Pressure is equal to force by area. So this is our pressure. So when we are talking of pressure, we are talking about the force that is applying in each and every point. Each and every point, every unit area, amount of force that is being applied. Okay. Now let us talk about air pressure. Okay. Now, what is air pressure? Air pressure is the amount of pressure that is being applied by the air on earth. Okay. Then what is air pressure? Is not uniform. Air pressure is not uniform at different places. For example, air pressure is different at equatorial areas. Air pressure is different at tropical areas. Air pressure is different at polar regions. Air pressure is different in plain mountainous areas. Air pressure is different in coastal areas. So air pressure varies. Air pressure varies. Okay. So we will be studying what are the various factors that affect the air pressure. You know, how does air pressure vary? So air pressure varies according to so what is the altitude of the place? Altitude means height. At what place, what height the place is located. For example, I talked to you about plain, maybe plateau or mountain. You know, these have different heights. So at different heights, you know, air pressure is different. How does it vary? Yes, it is a good question that you might be thinking that how does air pressure vary according to altitude? Let us take a place which is here at the plains. Let us take a place which is here at the middle of the hill, and let us take a place which is on the top of the hill, and let us this be the highest point. Means that this is the place up to where the air is there. So you see, at the ground level, amount of air that might be applying pressure is this much. This many amount of particles from top to bottom. This much amount of air is applying pressure from top to bottom. So more the number of particles, more the amount of pressure. Yes, as you might be seeing that if I keep one duster here, it will have some weight. Then if I keep some book here, then I will have some pressure. If I put this duster also, the pressure is going to increase. If I put some more things here on the top, you know what will happen? The pressure will increase more. So more the number of particles, more is the air pressure. Okay. Now let us talk about this place. You know, this place, as we are here, you know, the amount of air, you see only this much amount of air is below our feet. You know, the things which are below us cannot give us pressure. Okay, so the air that is above us, you know, this amount quantity of air is there. You can see, and it is lesser than this quantity, the previous one, the one which was present at the ground level. And this is not the same. Here the number of air or the quantity of air is less. Therefore, the quantity of air is less, the pressure generated will be also less. And as we move at the top of the mountain, whatever, this has the least amount of air above our head, and therefore the amount of pressure that is generated because of the air present above us on the top of the mountain is the least. Okay, so this is what happens. Okay, now, so this is the way, you know, we can say that as the altitude increases, what happens is that this, what you say, as the altitude increases, pressure decreases. Now the second factor is our temperature. What happens is that when the temperature increases, you know, air expands. What expands? Air expands. So when the air expands, what happens is that the air among the surroundings, you know, it becomes light. So when the air becomes light, you know, the quantity is same maybe, but since the air is hot, it becomes light. What happens? The amount of pressure that it will generate, it will become less. But if the temperature is less, what happens is that the air, when the temperature is less, the air does not expand, it condenses, it accumulates. Yes, the particles of the air come closer to each other, making it denser, making it heavier, and therefore since it becomes denser and heavier, the pressure generated by that type of air which is low in temperature, whose temperature is less, the pressure is increased. Okay, and then we have humidity. Yes, the greater the humidity, the pressure is increased. Okay, because we talk about the pressure, and you know, pressure is the amount of mass that it has hold. If more moisture is there, it adds to the mass and weight of the atmosphere present at that place, and therefore more the humidity, more is the air pressure. So these are some of the factors because of which air pressure varies. So now we will be moving on to the next topic, and that is movement of the air. Okay, so movement of air, that is what we are studying. Wind, storm, cyclone, what are all these? These are movement of air. So we need to understand why does air move. It is important. So the first and most foremost thing is that a difference in the air pressure causes the movement of air. Okay, the difference of air pressure is the thing that causes the movement of air, and air moves from the region of higher pressure to the region of lower pressure. Okay, so let me make you understand. Okay, let us consider that this is a piece of land. Okay, let us divide it into two parts. Okay, here you might be remembering the very good example of that land breeze and sea breeze. Okay, how does that happen? Let us recall that and try to understand. Okay, so let this portion be hot. This portion is hot. Okay, and let this portion be cold. Okay, so as I told you, more the temperature, lower is the pressure. Here, because this area is hot, here there will be low pressure. Yes, and as it is cold, I told you that the lower the temperature, the higher the pressure. So what happens in this place? This place will be at higher pressure. High pressure is prevailing in this place. So what happens? There need to be a balance, because all of the air are connected to each other. Okay, so they always try to maintain balance. This has high pressure because here the number of particles of air are more. Here the number of particles are more, whereas at this place it is low pressure because here the number of particles of air are less. So to balance, the air particles from here try to move towards the portion where the air particles are less, so that there is a balance in the nature. Yes, balance in the atmosphere. So to maintain this balance, what happens is that the movement, the air from the higher portion moves from higher pressure area to the area of lower pressure area. This is what happens. Okay, so air moves from a region of high pressure area to the region of low pressure area, and the greater the pressure drop or the pressure difference, what happens is that the greater is the speed of the movement. This is also the very good condition, why we have different types of speed. Wind is a gentle breeze. Storm has a greater, the speed is quite more. And cyclone, they have great speed, 700, 800, 400, 300 kilometer per hour. These are the speed of these type of wind. So why does this speed vary? It is because of the difference in the pressure drop or the pressure difference. Okay, now we will be discussing how does this speed, what are the factors on which the speed and the direction of the wind is affected. Okay, sometimes you might be seeing that the wind is blowing from this side, sometimes you might be experiencing that the wind is blowing from this side, sometimes you might experience the wind is blowing from the front side. Why does the wind blow from all the sides? Different sides, different part of the day, and the different part of the year. Why does the direction of the wind change? So let us try to understand about these factors. Okay, so some of the factors are location on the earth. Yes, on which part of the earth a place is located, or the place we are considering is located. That is a very important thing. Okay, so I will tell you about those pressure belts in the next lecture. Okay, we will understand how is it, what is the direction of the wind, or how does the wind blow. We will be able to understand by when we study the pressure belts. Okay, that we will study in the next video. Okay, the local conditions. Yes, there are so many local winds also. There are so many local winds that blow. For example, land breeze, sea breeze, then we have loo, then we have sheet lahar. Sheet lahar, it runs quite often in northern part of India. Yes. So what are these? These are your local winds. And rotation also, the earth also has a great amount of effect. We will try to understand all these, okay, in our next video. Okay, so these are some of the factors. Go through the book. It is quite a lot of topic, to cover in a day. So enough for today. We will see you in the next video. With this, good day, goodbye.